So, Tony, what'd you do with your night off last night?
Went out to dinner.
Oh, you know, Josh was sort of in charge of Wired For Sound last night.
Yeah.
Where was Vanessa?
Well, I don't know. She came in, made a brief appearance, checked a few things, and then I didn't see her the rest of the night.
Oh, how do you change? She was nice and cool.
Well, I'm not going to stay this way very long with all this heat. Hi, sweetheart. Mr. McCord's coming soon to say hello to you.
Honey, see, you think maybe with all that's going on that you should, you know, with Mr. McCord worried that the murderer is at large and everything, maybe you should change your plans. Have the christening right here.
Mother, listen, I just talked to Mrs. Renfield. She's going over all the details besides. There's going to be a house full of people. The dog's going to be out and everything.
Yeah, well, with the dogs out, it's a problem just getting from the car into the house, Nola.
Nola, don't you think with the christening so close, it's about time that you tell Mr. McCord that I'm the baby's father?
I'm going to do it. I will. I'll do it tonight, really.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, Mr. McCord.
McCord. Hi, McCord.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you back again.
Well, you don't know how good it is to see you looking so well. How are you, Mrs. Riordan?
I'm just fine. Welcome home.
Thank you. Is Kelly Louise sleeping?
Oh, no, she's right over here. She wants to say hello.
Hello, Kelly Louise. I missed you and your mother so much while I was away.
We're just real disappointed that we can't go back to the house tonight.
Oh, no more disappointed than I am, Nola, but I think it's for the best.
I agree, Mr. McCord. I was just telling Nola the same thing, that I don't think it would be a good idea for her to...
Let's not bring all that up again, Floyd, okay?
Mr. McCord, would you like something cool to drink?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, why don't you turn on the fan? It's getting real hot in here, isn't it?
I hardly even noticed. All I can think of is coming over to see you and knowing that you were safe.
Oh, thanks. I know you're very concerned, Eve, but seeing Justin while he's out here just won't change anything. You can't. And I can't explain why I feel that way, not to you, Eve, and not even to Justin. I'm trapped in a situation, and someone's at the door. Eve, I'll talk to you again soon. Eve, I'm very grateful to you for watching the shop and the house for me. Yeah. Listen, Eve, I want to get that before it wakes up my father. Yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, Eve. Who's there?
Jackie, it's me.
Justin, please go away.
Look, you have refused to talk to me every time I've phoned. I have flown all this way in hopes of straightening things out between us, and I am not leaving until I do.
There's nothing for us to straighten out.
I don't believe that. Now, are you going to invite me in so we can talk like two civilized human beings who have a marriage at stake? Or do I have to go to Ross and tell him the whole story?
I told you.
I know you told me you'd never forgive me. Well, I'll just have to take that chance if you don't let me in. How's Samantha?
She's fine.
All the way out here, I kept thinking over and over again what's happened between us. I still can't believe it.
It isn't easy for me to accept either. But being away from you in Springfield has helped.
Well, it hasn't helped me a bit. I don't like the house without you and Samantha there. I don't like my life without you the center of it. I've spoken to Ross on a number of occasions when he was out here. I talked to him again last night. He told me that the 2 times he saw you, you were in a terrible state.
I had very good reason for being. Ross showed me a note you'd started to write to Carrie.
Why would that upset you? I merely wrote her that note to try to tell her some things that I found impossible to do in person.
You don't have to explain. It's obvious why you were writing to her. Saying how you had things still unanswered that only she could answer for you.
Jackie, it's the truth.
I'm sure it was. I've tried not to believe it. But after Ross showed me that note, I can't help but feel that you do have some wild attraction to Carrie and that you didn't tell me the full truth of what happened that night in our bedroom.
Alan Ross tells me he never could have finished up in Chicago so quickly if it hadn't been for your expert advice.
I'm sure he's just being kind.
No, he's not being kind at all. There is no substitute for the kind of experience you've had in business. I just hope Amanda's up to the job.
Oh, she'll be fine once she gets things in shape. And I've told her that I'll be here to give her whatever advice she feels she may need.
Well, that is very reassuring to those of us left at Spaulding Enterprises. I'd be willing to bet that most women would be very, very jealous if they saw Amanda hanging around Ross the way she always does. But me? I'm more modern than that, more broad-minded.
I assume you're joking.
Absolutely not. I know Amanda was in love with Ross, so I know she had hopes of catching him.
Whoever's been gossiping has been giving you a great deal of misinformation. Amanda was deeply in love with Ben. I'm sure that while Ross and Amanda have always been very close, it's always been nothing more than a very good friendship.
Well, that's all in the past.
Carrie, I want to warn you about listening to people in the company who love to gossip, especially people like Vanessa.
Vanessa Chamberlain is no threat to me. I have some information on Henry that would blow Vanessa right out of the saddle.
While I disapprove of Vanessa and her methods, I'm very fond of Henry. I would hate to see him hurt.
I like Henry, too. I won't use the information. Unless Vanessa provokes me.
Well, I wonder what put Amanda so much on edge when she came back from the cottage.
I have no idea. I just know that Amanda can get very emotional over nothing at all. From what I've seen at the office, she got very hung up on Mark Evans. I think she expected him to sweep her off her feet. She is, in fact, very threatened by his friendship with Jennifer. Helen, what's wrong?
I've never heard you gossip before, and tonight you're full of it.
Ah, yes, well, I like to keep my eyes open.
Well, I had no idea that Mark Evans was back, too. Henry told me just today that he had several more weeks in Europe.
Oh, well, there you have it. Maybe Mark coming home with Jennifer is what made Amanda so jumpy.
Yes. Listen, everyone. Mark and my mother have some wonderful news that they want to tell you, and I hope you'll all be as happy as we are.
Well, I'll leave it to you.
Well, it's a very special announcement that I have to make, and I'm glad that Alan and Hope and Ross and Carrie are here because you're special friends, and I'm eager to share my news with you.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. Did Louis Oil make a strike off the coast of Spain, or didn't
No, it's much better news than that.
Well, what is it?
Jennifer and I were married in Paris. And so we're really here starting our new life and our honeymoon together.
No. Well, best
Thank you. Thank you.
How wonderful. Congratulations.
Bingo.
It's great to hear.
Well, we're very happy.
I cannot believe that all the trust we've built up between ourselves over all these years is crumbling in the face of this absolute lunacy that we're going through right now.
I find it as hard as you do to believe, but there are things that I can't just ignore, such as seeing you in Carrie's room, holding her hand, talking to her. Oh, and the earring that Eve found in your bed the next morning after Carrie strolled in. And finally, that note that you felt for some reason that you had to write to her.
I have told you that there are explanations for all of these things, but you won't accept them. You also refuse to let me to bring Ross into this, and Carrie, so that she can tell you herself.
Carrie's already told me.
Wow. Maybe the trip was worthwhile after all. So you did talk to Carrie. And I'll bet somewhere in that conversation she threatened you, and that's what's responsible for all this fear.
I want you to leave it alone, Justin. Just let it be, for all our sakes.
Do you realize you sounded just like Carrie? She said the exact same words to Ross over and over again after she confessed to killing Diane Ballard. And I remember we discussed it. And we said how unfeeling it was of Carrie to cut Ross out of her life like that. He loves her so much. I love you, Jackie. How can you say let it be to me with our whole world crumbling around us? It's not just unfeeling, it's tragic.
That's all I can tell you at this point. Maybe someday I'll be able to trust you again. But right now, I just want it left alone before we're all hurt.
Oh,
more.
How is that possible? What do you mean hurt more? How is that possible? I'm standing here confronting my wife. She's accusing me of being unfaithful to her with my brother's wife. If there's something that's going to hurt you more than that, I'd like to know about it.
I can't explain any more than I already have, Justin. You'll just have to...
You're going to say you'll just have to trust me. Well, I find that almost pathetically funny, in view of the fact that you don't trust me. You don't believe I've been telling you the truth all along.
There's no point in our talking anymore. I've tried so hard to hold on to what we've had together. The trust that was there. But right now, I'm so confused and frightened.
What in the hell are you frightened of?
Justin, please, leave now. My father's a very bright man. And while I've done my best to keep up the pretense that I just came out here for a visit, he senses that something's very wrong. I don't want to upset him anymore.
I'd like to see my daughter while I'm here.
She's in the guest room where I'm sleeping.
I'm sorry to be eating in front of you like this, but I need to get to my first set at the hideout.
Yeah, same here, Mr. McCord. I got to get over to Wired For Sound by 8 o'clock.
Well, please, don't apologize. I'm just glad to be here in a casual, relaxed atmosphere.
No, there's one thing you can always say about this place. It's casual and relaxed.
Yeah. Even Vanessa Chamberlain found it that way when she came by for breakfast the other day.
Well, I'm not sure. She tried, anyway.
Listen, can we talk about something else before I get indigestion?
You know, I just can't picture Vanessa Chamberlain here, even though I hardly knew her.
I will never forget the sight of her walking in here early in the morning with this box full
Come on, I said, can we please stop
Yeah.
talking about Vanessa Chamberlain?
Hey, you're squirming, man.
Sorry.
I gotta go. Get over to my place and change before I go.
Tony? Tony, what's wrong?
Nothing, Lou. Look, I'm sorry. I just got a lot of things in my mind. I don't mean to be taking it out on everybody. I did the same thing to Nola before. I got to get a hold of myself. I will. Don't worry. Mr. McCord, I'm glad you made it back okay. I'm also glad you got Nola talked into staying here with the baby as long as it's going to be dangerous for her out there at your house.
Well, the police here in Springfield have been alerted by Scotland Yard to be on the lookout for Silas Crocker. And if he's foolish enough to show up, well, he'll be arrested. And then the rest of us can get back to our normal lives, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll see you at the christening, if not before, okay?
Oh, with everything I've been involved with, I've almost forgot about the baby's christening.
Well, you can get away with that. I'm the godfather. I can't forget.
Mr. McCord, Nola needs to talk to you about some things before you start making plans for the...
The plans for the party. The, you know, all the
No,
plans.
that's not what I mean. I mean, as far as my involvement in this
In the party. Well, you know, we can talk about that all later, the details Mrs. Renfield's working on. Don't you have to go to work or something, Floyd?
Not yet, no.
Oh, well, anyway, when you see Leslie Ann, give her my best.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if you two aren't busy later, why don't you come by Wired For Sound?
Oh, thank you, Anthony. We'll see how we're feeling later. Oh, by the way, has Helena Manzini showed up at Wired For Sound since I've been away?
No, she hasn't, but I know Josh Lewis has been paying her a lot of attention. He was supposed to bring her to karate class last night, but she stood him up.
Do you know why?
No, Josh and I don't talk any more than we have to.
Well, Josh told me that Helena's friend came in from overseas, and she was all excited about it. I guess he was pretty annoyed.
I wonder if that friend could be Silas Crocker.
I'm sure of it. Mrs. Reardon, may I use your phone to call the police?
Of course you can.
Well, thank you.
Here, ask for Lieutenant Larry Wyatt. I know him personally.